The Detroit Lions faced a pivotal decision late in their Week 14 game against the Green Bay Packers. With the score tied at 31-all and just 43 seconds left, many expected head coach Dan Campbell to go for a field goal attempt on a 4th and 1. Instead, Campbell opted for another run play with David Montgomery. Despite being stopped for no gain on a previous 3rd and inches play, Montgomery made up for it, bursting through the line for a 7-yard gain. This put the Lions in position to run out the clock, setting up kicker Jake Bates for a game-winning 35-yard field goal as time expired. The Lions triumphed 34-31 and improved to 12-1 on the season, clinching a playoff spot. Campbell's decision to go for the first down on 4th and 1 wasn't the only bold call of the game. The Lions successfully converted 4 of 5 4th down attempts, scoring 2 of their 4 touchdowns in 4th and goal situations. Although one failed conversion allowed the Packers to take a brief 28-24 lead, Campbell's aggressive strategy paid off in the end. Despite a strong offensive showing, the Packers are now 9-4, 3 games behind the Lions in the NFC North, with only 4 games left in the regular season. The loss dashed their hopes of winning the division, and their road to the playoffs now requires a near-perfect finish. As the game neared its final moments, the Lions were clinging to a 31-28 lead after a dramatic touchdown by Tim Patrick, his 2nd of the game. Jared Goff connected with Patrick on a 3rd and goal play action, marking a key moment in the back-and-forth contest. The Packers responded with a 4-yard touchdown run from Josh Jacobs, his 3rd of the game, to give Green Bay a brief 28-24 advantage. With 8:39 remaining in regulation, the Lions regained the lead after a crucial 7-yard catch by Jahmyr Gibbs on a 3rd and 7. This set up another potential game-winning drive, and Goff's clutch playmaking kept Detroit's momentum alive. Meanwhile, Green Bay's defense could not stop the Lions, allowing them to set up the final field goal attempt by Bates. Earlier in the game, the Lions had key moments that helped them maintain control. After the Packers settled for a game-tying field goal in the 4th quarter, the Lions got a crucial first down on a screen pass to Gibbs, helping them stay within striking distance. The Packers could not get another stop, leaving the door open for Detroit's final, decisive drive. On Green Bay's side, Jordan Love had his share of big plays, including a perfect throw to Christian Watson for a 59-yard gain early in the second half. However, Love struggled with consistency, finishing the game with just 3 completions for 31 yards in the first half. The Packers' offense also faced costly penalties and failed conversions that slowed their progress. Defensively, the Lions had some key moments, including a forced fumble on Christian Watson in the 2nd quarter, which helped them maintain the momentum. Despite dealing with injuries to key players like Allen McNeil, the Lions held firm when it mattered most. The Packers' defense was also under pressure all game, especially on crucial 4th down attempts. Their lone successful stop came when they halted the Lions on a 4th and 1 play in the 3rd quarter, but that was their only joyous defensive moment in a game otherwise dominated by Detroit's offense. In the end, the Lions showed that they were the better and bolder team on the field, with Dan Campbell's aggressive coaching style making all the difference. Jake Bates' final field goal capped off a thrilling game that saw both teams trade punches, but ultimately ended with the Lions securing a hard-fought victory. The Packers now have little room for error in their playoff push, while Detroit continues to ride their impressive winning streak into the postseason. With the win, the Lions' playoff berth is now official, and their focus shifts to securing home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs. The Detroit Lions took an early 7-0 lead over the Green Bay Packers in their Week 14 matchup, scoring on their opening drive. David Montgomery punched in a 3-yard touchdown run after Jared Goff efficiently led the offense downfield, completing 6 of 8 passes for 58 yards. Jameson Williams contributed with a 28-yard reception, while Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs each added key catches. After that, the game turned into a defensive struggle. The Lions outgained the Packers 90-17 in the first quarter, holding Jordan Love to -4 passing yards. Despite fielding backups on the defensive line due to injuries, Detroit pressured Love consistently, forcing hurried throws and stopping Green Bay on multiple drives. The Packers averaged just 1.9 yards per play compared to Detroit's 4.5. Green Bay's struggles continued with a failed 3rd and 6 attempt when Love overthrew Dontavon Wicks after being pressured by the Lions' defense. Detroit regained possession deep in its territory, but the Packers responded with a defensive stop. Rashawn Gary sacked Jared Goff on 3rd down, forcing the Lions to punt from their end zone. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur challenged a first-down run by Gibbs on Detroit's 3rd possession, believing Gibbs had been stopped short. However, the ruling stood, costing Green Bay a timeout and leaving LaFleur winless in 5 challenges this season. However, the Lions' next set of downs resulted in a puzzling 3-run sequence that gained just 2 yards, leading to a punt. Green Bay's offense struggled, failing to capitalize on a good field position. Love overthrew a wide-open Tucker Kraft on a potential touchdown pass, and the Packers were forced to punt after another failed 3rd down attempt. Meanwhile, Detroit's defense benefited from an uncalled roughing the passer penalty on Love after a helmet hit during a failed 3rd and 5 attempt. Adding to the Lions' defensive concerns, lineman Alan McNeil was ruled out after halftime with a head injury, further depleting an already banged-up unit. Despite this, the defense performed well, sacking Love early and limiting the Packers' running game. Detroit's offensive line was also shorthanded, with Dan Skipper stepping in at left tackle for injured starter Taylor Decker. Skipper, the tallest player in the NFL at 6'10", held his own against Green Bay's pass rush, though Gary's sack highlighted the challenges of replacing Decker. Both teams missed opportunities to seize momentum. The Packers failed to find a rhythm, logging negative passing yards in the first quarter, while Detroit's offense stalled after its opening drive. Both sides' key defensive stops and miscues kept the game tight heading into the second quarter. Detroit's fast start showcased its ability to balance the offense, with Montgomery and Gibbs complementing Goff's passing attack. However, the Lions' inability to sustain drives after their opening score highlighted ongoing issues with consistency against a solid Packers defense. Meanwhile, Barry Sanders' presence at Ford Field increased the excitement for Lions fans. The Hall of Famer, who rushed for over 15,000 yards in his career, attended the game as Detroit aimed to clinch a playoff berth with a victory. Despite Green Bay's struggles, their defense showed resilience. By limiting Detroit's production following the first drive, the Packers gave their offense opportunities to respond, though Love and the unit failed to capitalize. With key players like Jaire Alexander inactive, Green Bay relied on young contributors to step up in critical moments. Looking ahead, Detroit needed to continue applying pressure on Love to maintain control. At the same time, the Packers had to establish their running game behind Josh Jacobs to open up the passing attack. With Ford Field hosting a packed Thursday night football crowd, the Lions were in prime position to solidify their NFC North dominance, while Green Bay faced an uphill battle to stay in the division race.